Alright, it's time for another week of ZTGD Radio. This is episode 751 for June 19th, 2023. Happy Father's Day.
Episode.
Is it what episode?
I said a very special episode.
Special Father's Day episode.
Yeah, it ain't special for any reasons other than I'm just saying it's special. Fuck you.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Special episode.
Well, as you can hear, the always sunny and bright Anthony is here.
Yeah. You know what the sun does? It burns us alive.
It does do that.
Global warming, it still snows. Yeah, it snows for like a week, and then it's fucking right back to misery. You assholes. Fucking our forests are on goddamn fire.
The tornadoes all over the south right now.
I just want to note, by the way, those forests aren't ever dry enough to catch on fire. Maybe there's a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm just going to ignore it and hope it goes away by itself, clearly.
I ain't had to mow my grass in 3 weeks. Yesterday was the first day I had to do it in 3 weeks.
Man, I wish my kids do it, so, but yeah, like that, I have to do mine like every 2 weeks. We'll make them do it every 2 weeks. So, man.
Yeah, it was a long drought, and then we got that big ass rain, and then I was like, you know what? I gotta get out there. I gotta get that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But we also have Terrence on the show.
What's up?
What's up?
Talk about these video games.
Let's talk about some video games. There's a lot of video games to talk about. So I'll kick it off with Anthony. I know he was dying last week to talk about a game.
Goddamn right,
I want to hear about it too.
Man,
yeah.
So I'm gonna say right now, I have been lucky enough to review a remaster of what I'd argue is one of the best games ever made. That's not even hyperbole.
Wow. Okay.
Katamari Damacy was a very interesting experiment. It was a game that was built all around collecting stuff in the most brainless sort of way. You know, it's not a collectathon. It is just you have a ball. The ball rolls up small items, and as the ball becomes bigger, it can roll up bigger items. That was it. There was a couple of specialty levels where it was like, you know, try to mainly collect cranes or whatever. And it's like, okay, cool, but you know, mainly it was like, hey, we need you to get to a certain size within a certain amount of time, or you have 3 minutes to make the stars big as or the ball as big as possible. In the original game, it's stars. And then, yeah, there was the constellation stages. So roll up as many crabs as possible, and you would make the Cancer constellation. It was very basic, and it was neat.
Yeah.
And We Love Katamari was the first sequel to that series. There's too many to count. I think there's like 2 iOS games, a Vita game, a PSP game, a PS3 game, a 360 game, 2 PS2 games. So, you know, when they did Katamari Damacy Reroll, I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm really glad the first game got remade. But I really hope they do We Love Katamari, because We Love Katamari took everything that Katamari Damacy was and made it way better. You still have all those sort of basic sort of stages, big as possible, as fast as possible. So those were still there, but then they would have stages where like, so We Love Katamari, like you actually walk along this little map and talk to people, and every character has a different mission, One of them, is, for example, is a sumo wrestler. And the idea is you have to roll... You actually are rolling the sumo wrestler, but he starts off super skinny. So with Katamari, if you grab something that was long and attached to your ball, it would actually offset the roll of the ball. He rolls like that automatically because he's taller than he is wide. But as you roll up more food items, he becomes more of a spear, essentially. And the whole goal is just to beat his sumo opponent. And that is just one of the levels in this game. One of them is that the ball is always on fire. And you need to keep rolling up flammable objects to keep the fire going, to get it big enough to light the bonfire at the top of a hill. And if it rolls in water at all, it immediately goes out. One of them is the ball is always moving forward because it's a racetrack. There's one in this game that is the hardest, I think, out of all the Katamari stages, where you have to... It is bear or cow. And the idea is you want to roll up the biggest bear or cow possible. However, there's bears and cows all over, so you have to cautiously avoid items because it is potentially a cow or bear, and that'll end the stage immediately. And We Love Katamari decided, like, this was the way they were going to give you just as many normal stages, but we were going to do weird stuff as well. And they added more cousins, which are basically playable characters. They all work the same, but it's just a visual change. And the levels were going to be more intricate. Some of them would lead into others. So, like, there's one that if you start in the apartment, you roll outside, you're now in a garden. Now the garden's into a small city, and the city is attached to a school. And then from there, if you get bigger, you can now roll outside into the other parts of the city because you're kind of on the outskirts of it. And I personally think We Love Katamari is the pinnacle of the series. I know it's only the second game in the series, but every other game sort of missed the point. Beautiful Katamari on 360 is a great game, but lost a lot of the charm of We Love Katamari. The PSP game is probably the closest, but a lot of it was kind of just reused levels and music from the PS2 games. But it was a portable version, so that was really neat. The Vita game added this weird stretching mechanic that was unnecessary. The iOS games, you could roll the ball with the actual tilt feature and stuff. And the PS3 game was sort of a greatest hits collection, as well as some new stages, but they just never really felt as much fun as We Love Katamari. And they took an already like content-packed game and added more to it. Now there's these levels that are sort of like levels you play as the prince, but they recontextualize them so you're playing as a young version of the King of the Cosmos, his dad. And they're kind of like funny, unnecessary to beat the game, but funny versions of the stages that I really appreciate. There's also now a scavenger hunt, I would say. If you get you could always do this. If you got the camera, you could take photos. You could like save 3 photos using the little camera that you could unlock by rolling up a present in one of the levels. Because you can stylize the prince or whatever character you're playing as with some like hats and some other accessories. So, but if you have the camera, in certain stages, they've now hidden a bunch of Namco sprites. And if you take a photo of them, it puts it into your sticker book. And they're just hidden around the stages. And I'm like, wow, I already love this game. And they've just added a bunch more. Some of the music from other Katamari games is in this. I think you have to buy a special version of the game. However, I think my version just came with it. Give me a second. I have to... Yeah, so you have to get the special edition, which may be just the... Oh no, you can buy the bundle of music too, which is not cheap, but it adds 25 additional songs.
Jesus.
Yeah, and, some of these songs are kind of awesome. Like, it gives you Lonely Rolling Star, which is probably the most popular song, I think, from the whole series, other than the main theme. The Moon and the Prince, stuff from Me and My Katamari, Beautiful Katamari, Katamari Forever, and Touch My Katamari, which has a great song named Alien. So, I do think it's worth it if you're a really big fan of the Katamari games. It brings in new and old music into We Love Katamari, which I think was originally a feature if you had save data from Katamari Damacy would bring the music from Katamari Damacy into We Love Katamari. But anyways, it's one of my favorite games of all time, and it's just, it does everything you want a sequel to. And to finally get it and it look as good as it does, which is not really a surprise. Those games were never about the graphics, they were about style. And the style, it really feeds into the ability to up-res it without having any issues. But the sense of humor is still there. And now there's almost no loading time, which was a big thing on the PS2, because the stages, as you got bigger, would have to pause and load in the new set of assets that you couldn't see before because you were too small.
That's right.
And so now there's no wait, which is just fantastic. And what I really love is that the loading screens in the original, you could move the king's head around and he would say funny stuff. There's no time to do that anymore, even though that feature is still there, because again, there's just no real load times. Yeah, I it's one of my favorite games of all time. So every time I seem to eat well when my games are remade. I don't think I've had too many issues where a game is remade and I've hated the experience, because Wonder Boy was really good too. But yeah, it's one of my favorite games of all time. So, hey, it's Katamari. And if you like Katamari Damacy, boy, if you've never experienced We Love Katamari, which I think honestly is probably the least popular of the series, or the least played, because it was before Katamari Damacy became a better known series. It was still riding off of a cult fan base off the first game. And I'm going to be honest with you, that first game's cover made it look like an iToy game, which is not a compliment. And then the other game I played, because honestly, I actually haven't played Zelda in the last little while. I finished the main game. I have not done the DLC. I started the DLC of The Case of the Golden Idol. And I like that game a lot. It is really good. It is along the lines of Return of the Obra Dinn, but not as strong as Return of the Obra Dinn. I'd actually argue play Case of the Golden Idol first, if you haven't played either, because Case of the Golden Idol is really smart and does some really interesting things. But it does kind of fuck with you on purpose, in a specific way, where I was like, I know that character, why is it not taking the name? And then I was kind of confused in the later stages until the final epilogue allowed me to kind of put the story together. And I was like, I mean, that makes sense, but I would have preferred this, knowing this, because it was kind of important. Anyways, the last level in the main story of The Case of the Golden Idol is really smart and allows you to go back to previous levels with ease, just so you can pull information out of that. It was really, really smart that way. I started the DLC, and it seems that the DLC is sort of a what is it called when it's a prequel to the main game, kind of explaining how the Golden Idol ends up into the hands of a specific character before the game starts. And I'm kind of excited to see how it ends. It's only about 3 levels, but the artwork in it is so grotesque. It is perfect. There's one, it's the second level, so I'm not spoiling anything, where a man is set on fire, and the pixel art on that is so good. No. I do recommend playing it. I do recommend playing it. But if you've played Return of the Obra Dinn, this is a bit of a different beast, even though a lot of people compare the two. But worth every penny. So, yeah, and that's basically it for me. I haven't played Zelda, so.
Oh my god. No Zelda. Anyway. Alright, well, I'll move over to Terrence then. What's up?
You know what? I haven't played Zelda either, actually.
Y'all fucking up.
I know. Yeah, I need to. It's funny because I see videos that pop up because people do those quick clips or whatever, and I'm like, oh shoot, look what they just did. Oh shoot, that's over there. Let me go do that. And then I'm about to do it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like getting invested in Zelda because I'm gonna be there for the next 5 hours. So let me. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to it though. I'm gonna finish it at some point. Okay, so I don't think we talked about this last week, but so I played the Lies of P demo. Did we talk about the Lies of P demo?
We might have mentioned it since it was in the show.
Yeah, but it was had just announced, right?
No, you guys didn't talk about it because we didn't talk about any games played last week.
That's right.
I thought we mentioned. I thought we were talking about it, and we were we noped the fuck out when the police officer boss was there.
That's right. Okay, yeah, we did.
I think we talked about that in this chat. Fucking who cares? Repeat yourself if that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
don't remember this conversation.
I want to play this game, but I will not play this game.
Yep, I'm the same way because I'm so intrigued of the world and the story and stuff. But man, when I ran into that big cop and he bopped me upside the head and I died, and it was tell no lies. I was like, well, that's it. Okay,
delete.
I had a good run. Delete, exactly. All right, okay, so yeah, I guess we talked about that. So I'm reviewing, oh Lord Jesus, the crime boss Rocky City.
Finally, did you ask for that?
No, he said I'll take it when it comes in.
Yeah, so you can understand why I'd ask that, right?
I do. Yeah. Okay.
You're a fine purveyor. You're a fine purveyor of shit, Terrence.
I am. You don't see me, but I'm holding my cigar. It's not really a cigar, but I'm holding it very fancy right now, actually. But anyways, this game. Oh my god. Okay. First of all, I didn't know it was a roguelite. I didn't know that.
The hell is that
campaign.
Noise?
What is what noise?
Oh, it sounds like a washing machine.
Oh, it might be, actually.
So, you didn't know it was a roguelike. I'm going to tell you right now, no one knew what the fuck it was when they announced it.
I'm still a little confused even after playing it.
That's because it's literally broken up into three different game modes, right? So the campaign is a roguelite where you play as Michael Madsen's character in his quest to take back what Ice. Oh God, not Vanilla Ice. Lord, yeah.
All I'm gonna say is let me correct you on this. You're playing as Michael Madsen collecting a check.
But you're not the second mission. You're not playing as him.
No, you're not. So, so the first two missions are tutorials, right? Because the second mission you're playing is his gang who's trying to get back the drugs or whatever because they're getting jumps. Well, I tried really hard. Come to find out, you're supposed to die on that mission. You can't win it because I was like, what the heck? But anyways, the next one you take over as him and you get more of a picture of what the game is. So it's a roguelite. But you can hire enforcers to come with you on missions. So you control Michael Madsen's character. You can have 3 other people with you, but you can switch to any of those people while you're playing to set stuff up because it also mixes in payday stuff.
May I just stop you for a second? That is absolutely the washing machine. I just heard it go off.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did just go. Yeah, it did just go off. So I apologize. Listen, at least y'all know I'm doing laundry. Now we got clean clothes over here. All right, but look, okay, so, man, see, look, fuck me up. I don't even remember the mission.
I mean,
so you can
let's
switch
be honest.
Between.
We were talking more interesting things. Laundry. What type of laundry machine is it? Who gives a shit about Rocky City?
You're absolutely right. Honestly, it's a Samsung. Actually, thank you for asking.
Hey. He has a Samsung, everybody.
He's got a Samsung. That's right.
Yep, yeah, but it's so it mixes in payday elements at this point where you start off the mission and you can kind of case the area or whatever. Because there's different missions. Most of it involves or you're stealing something in some form or fashion. So it basically plays out like payday. So you can set up your AI people in different spots. If you want somebody to overlook an area and snipe, and you can equip them too. So you can use the money from your illegal assets, your criminal activities, and you can purchase weapons and gear for your AI people as well as yourself. This game does a lot, but it doesn't do any of it particularly well.
I thought the actual combat was fine.
Yeah, well, it is. It's fine. That's what I'm saying. It tries to do a lot. It's just none of it is great. Like, overall, like, I think, because I need to play it some more before I'm ready to write the review, the game itself, it's fine. Like, I don't know why everybody was so hard on it. It's not, like, a masterpiece. I think maybe it was because they had so many, well, let's be honest, C-list actors in it at this point. They thought it was going to be great. And it's like, nah. Come
on. That story is so disjointed. And
oh, absolutely.
The dialogue is so bad.
But did you notice that it almost is like everybody recorded their stuff in
different rooms,
in a different facility? Yes, because like when Michael Rooker's character gets introduced and he's talking to the one dude, you can hear like an echo when the one dude talks, but Michael Rooker's is so clean. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, that happened in the first cutscene with Vanilla Ice when he slaps that one dude. Like, his voice sounds different than the other dude's voice.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like, what the heck? So, yeah, I don't know what they did production value, but like the shooting and stuff, you have to adjust the sensitivity, but it's not horrible. I did mess with the multiplayer. The multiplayer is straight up Payday. This is what it is. You can't make your own character, so you similar to the campaign, you hire characters. They give you one for free, but then you can hire other ones. Because if you die, you lose everything, obviously. Same in the campaign. If he dies, if Michael Madsen's character dies, I can't think of his name at the moment, but if he dies, that's the end of the run, because it's a roguelite. So then you basically have to start over from step one with nothing, basically, and try to rebuild, take over the city. Which I guess with that, kind of story thing, maybe it kind of works having that roguelite, but I don't know. Like you said, the story stuff is just so disjointed, and everybody was trying to get a check. I haven't seen Danny Glover yet, but I could only imagine what he gonna sound like.
I mean, he sounds a lot like Michael, like Michael Madsen's the white version of that. He's like, I'm too old for this.
Right, yeah. And have you heard Chuck Norris? Chuck Norris, he didn't give a fuck. My man just read it straight off the paper. Was like, yeah, we gotta get him.
Yeah. Fun fact, I hate to break this down for people because it's like I feel like I'm just exposing the sad truth. He was never a good actor.
No, if you watch his performance in The Expendables, it's like, dude, you're so wooden.
Yeah,
like, you're so bad,
and that's. You know what? I guess in that regard, he's on point. He is doing Chuck Norris in this game because that's the problem. He's just so wooded. Like, he's just reading the script and I'm just trying to cash this check.
How you doing, Barney? I killed all those people, Barney.
Yeah, oh, man. But okay, so the game is not god-awful. Don't believe the rumors. Would I pay $60 or however? I don't even know.
It's 40.
Maybe it's 50.
Is it 40?
Okay.
It's either 40 or 50. I can't remember.
It definitely should be a budget title, yes. But even with that, I'd wait for a Black Friday sale and only get it if you just looking to, get comfortable and just laugh at some stuff because it's really not. Okay, so it's not a whole lot to take seriously.
I'm looking at it on Xbox.
Oh, there's a co-op mode too. I forgot because that's the third thing. There's a co-op mode if you want to play it with a friend. So
if you want to, yeah, it's on sale right now for $31.99.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. It looks like it's cheaper right now. Yeah, it's regular $39.99. You're gonna save a whole $8.
Kim Bassinger's in there, like, what's up?
Yeah.
I also am collecting a check, fellow actor.
Mm-hmm. So many people. Danny Trejo's in this, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's one of the crime bosses you got to take down.
What the fuck?
Graphically, it's not a bad. That's what I'm saying. It's just so kind of meh. It's not god awful. It looks pretty good. It controls okay, but the story, I don't know, man. I'm not far into it, but yikes, it's already off the rails. And then, like, I guess freaking Chuck Norris is his literally the sheriff. Like, that's his name. He's the sheriff. And he's coming in, riding on a helicopter with his cap, reading this letter because they asking him to come to Rockay City because, like, you know, the crime stuff is getting out of control. So they need the sheriff to come clean it up. And his, like, whole intro is this. Oh God, this game is crazy. Oh, it's crazy. But anyways, I'm gonna write a review. It's fine.
Yeah. That's yeah.
What else? I played some Fuga 2, Memories of Steel, which I played the first one, which is a lot of fun. It's a RPG that is turn-based RPG that is set in you're in a battle tank, but the characters are all kids, and it's basically this kids versus a Nazi-esque regime. Which so far the second one it just feels a whole lot like the first one. And I loved the first one a lot, like the story, because like the hook here and what you find out is that, you know, you're going along trying to save, you know, your town or whatever in this tank, and you guys are about to get killed, and they find this tank has like this ultimate weapon which can kill any enemy, but you have to, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but you have to, I mean, this game is old at this point. You have to sacrifice someone. So you literally, one of the kids will die to save everybody else to get out of this position.
That's how we keep the lights on nowadays.
Damn. Okay. Well, you ain't lying, actually. All right. But yeah, so it's
now.
Yeah.
I have a question about this because looking at the screenshots does no help.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
I'm looking at the first game specifically. So, like, does the whole gameplay sort of take place in the tank?
More or less, yes. So as you're traveling along, think of it as you're like traveling the overworld. You just move left to right. So the tank is just driving, and you're not controlling it. It just is on a set path. You'll get to like a junction point where the game will say, "Hey, you want to go take this route? It's going to be harder, or you want to take this route? It's going to be easier." You get that kind of thing. There are activities that you can do on the tank. So in between, you'll get to little spots where you're resting, and basically you can control the kids to build relationships. And that's where a lot of the story and stuff will come from. You take control of each one. You have a certain amount of action points per day that you can use. So you may not be able to do everything you want to do. But you can, there's farming. Because you have to feed everybody. You can fish off the back of the thing. Yeah,
you can fish off the back, like you can come off the boat.
You can. I hate it here. Anyway,
wow.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different activities.
You actually getting like wood and stuff. Like you can come off the ship.
God dang it. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do. That's not just fighting on the tank. But the second one feels a lot like a retread.
Like, okay, that's a pretty good pun, even though it's not intentional. Retread.
It was actually. I know. Yeah.
The only reason why I ask is because I really like the game. I knew I wasn't going to play exactly like this, but I really like the game Rocket Slime, which is a Dragon Quest title. And a lot of that is spent in a tank, sort of similar, where it's like this extremely tall, sort of like moving fortress.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of curious on what the gameplay was like, because it's like, I don't know, I like the idea of sort of being in this tank that just kind of travels the wasteland or whatever.
Terrace Brian Gumble ass over here. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that's a lot like, wow, you like that? Yes. Yes. But that's a lot like what this game is going to be. You actually probably would dig it for real, and I think it's on Game Pass. I know the second one is. I'm not sure if the first one is. I know it was, but you should probably give it a try because the story. Oh man, the story will get because, like I said, you have this ultimate weapon, and you might have to sacrifice some people if you don't. Plan and do some things correctly. And I don't know. I liked the story quite a bit. But the second one so far, like I said, it just feels like a lot like a retread. Like they're in a different tank now instead of the Tannerus. The original one that they had, I guess, has been stolen or something, so they're going after it because it's so powerful. But they have this Berman tank, which are the German stand-ins, the Bermans. They're dogs. These are your cats, by the way. The characters are cats. But yeah, it just feels like a lot of a retread.
Watched An American Tale.
Exactly.
Fifle.
I can't wait for them to go west.
Go west? I was about to say, did you know about the Western Adventure?
That's such a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah, that was. I remember we had both of those as a kid, and I think we only ever watched the West one once. But we wore out the American Tail one. Oh my god. But yeah, so that's few. I'm gonna write a review on that, so y'all will get that. What else have I played? So I hung out with my cousin and my brother and our respective spouses and stuff yesterday, and played a bunch of fighting games. We played some Street Fighter 6. That's a good game. So, I was playing with people that don't play fighting games, so they use the dynamic controls. And me, who am using the modern controls and, no combos and different things, I got my ass whooped. By I think everybody. I don't think I won. Damn. Yeah, so it is possible for, people to have a good time with those, to just use the dynamic controls and
no way.
Pass the sticks or whatever.
It's possible to have fun in video games?
With a video game. There you go. That's what I was about to say. With a video game.
We're gonna play Smash Brothers. We're gonna turn all the items off because we're trying to make this as legit as possible.
That's not how the game should be played. I want you to know.
You know the thing that's on by default? Not how we're supposed to play.
Turn it off. Turn off the fun. We're turning off the fun.
Yeah, turn off the fun, everybody.
Oh my god, I hate people because I've had friends that was that way with Smash. No, we got to turn off all the items. Nigga, I like throwing a Pokeball and seeing what's gonna come out. That's part of this game. What are you talking about? Anyway, but no, we had a good time. Played some Mortal Kombat.
Which
some
one?
Injustice 2, 11.
Oh, yeah.
Which I swear. Which hopefully I get into this tech test. But the muscle memory from playing a Street Fighter game to going to a Mortal Kombat game is going to be so messed up for everybody because they play absolutely different.
Well, yeah, Mortal Kombat is 100% dial a combo, and Street Fighter is instant input. So
yeah. It's just I don't know. Well, it's probably going to affect me because you'll probably be fine because Mortal Kombat is your jam. But it's. I don't know. It's gonna take me a minute. I expect to get my ass whooped.
You really want to fuck with your head? Go play some of that PS2 era Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that'll.
Nope. I'm not even messing.
You mean the Dark Ages?
Yeah.
There's only like 2 games out of that era that I'd save, and one of them's got the action adventure.
Dude, there were only 3.
Okay, well, no, hold on.
Yeah, wasn't it
Deception, Deadly Alliance, and Armageddon? Those are the
Armageddon.
3.
Yeah, Armageddon.
Okay, Deadly Alliance is the one that I like.
Deadly Alliance was good,
right?
That's
the one that's got the single player mode.
They all have the single. Well, Armageddon doesn't. The second one has the. I think you're trying to think of what's his name?
Conquest.
Shujinku. The story mode, the Conquest. That's Deception.
Oh, okay. It's Deception that I like, but only because of that mode. I don't like anything else.
Deception also has kart racing and chess. I think.
So does.
Oh my god!
No,
right.
that's. I'm pretty sure they only have chess. Armageddon had kart racing.
No, Deception.
One of them had
Deception had kart racing. One of them has a puzzle game too. I don't know. They had a bunch of shit.
They did the most.
The Wii version had Motor Combat.
Nice.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Really?
It's just one of those.
No.
It's called fucking. Yeah, Motor Combat keeps their super deformed style that was introduced in Deception's Puzzle Combat.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Armageddon.
I'll have to mess with it. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
all right, let me wrap it up.
Armageddon, we have all the characters.
I know.
You're going to want to play with none of them. That's how Armageddon works.
Well, yeah, I do remember that. Actually, you know what? I don't even think I bought Armageddon because I looked at the list and I was like, nah, fuck
Armageddon has everybody in it.
I know, but
literally everybody.
But then actually playing as
even
them
Meat.
sucks.
Dude, it has both versions of Chameleon. What?
That's wild.
Yeah, that
you know
was
what?
the one that had the female and the male, right?
Yeah, the N64 had the female and the PlayStation had the male, I believe.
And Armageddon had both.
Yeah, Armageddon has both. It has
I can't remember who hold on, Wii exclusive. There's an exclusive character on the Wii version.
Yeah, I think it's a third version of Chameleon, if I remember correctly.
Is it Link? I hope it's Link.
It's not Link. Link's in Soul Calibur.
I remember when that was so hyped. Like, I worked at Game Crazy when that came out. We sold, it's wild too. The only copies that we didn't really sell it at was the Xbox version. Like, obviously,
which
the
is
PlayStation
crazy because it
version
had the
went crazy.
second best.
Right.
Because the PS2 was fucking Heihachi. Like, who cares?
Right. That was a jib.
Okay, so only the Wii version had the female Chameleon with the K.
Oh, okay. So that was the difference. Okay.
This game sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it had a great intro though, where everybody dies.
I did love the idea of having every character have two fighting styles, one with a weapon, one without.
Yeah, those games.
The idea is good.
Something...
The game is bad.
I love how the gore in those games looks like popcorn.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. I've seen the videos of some of the old stuff, and I'm like, wow, and we thought that was just so. We thought that was the greatest thing ever.
Did we ever feel like those Mortal Kombat games were the best thing ever?
Me and my people, yeah, we were hyped when that stuff happened.
I went to E3 the year that game came out, and I about lost my shit.
Oh God! Oh man, that's cool. Like man, I bet that room was hyped as fuck.
Oh yeah, I got in trouble because they were like, "You can't take pictures of it." Like, I'm gonna take a picture. So I went over to a booth across the way and took a picture of it. I'm gonna take a picture of this shit. It's Mortal Kombat.
Righto. Okay, let's wrap it up. I'm sorry. Okay, Ghost Trick. I played some of the demo of Ghost Trick. That game looks really good. If it was on Xbox, I actually would have reviewed that one.
That was the that lies with the same principle as Katamari, where it's like it was so stylized when it came out that like as long as you're not fucking with the art style, it's gonna look good.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to get that Katamari game because I've never played the sequel, and I was gonna ask you what that was.
It's the best of the series. I mean that in like I love the other Katamari games, but like no. It's not
I got you. All right. I played some Assassin's Creed. This is just be kind of quick hits now. Assassin's Creed Rogue, the remaster, because I didn't realize I had that. That's really a good Assassin's Creed game. A lot of I'm loving the story.
In that game.
Oh my God, there's a lot. But the story's so good, is really good. What else? Oh, I messed with Fallout 76 just because, they hyped it up at the Microsoft show, and I owned it. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, everybody was saying this game looked like ass, man. Let me install it to see what this game looked like on my thing. And I booted it up, and when the world was like, this game looked like ass. And then I uninstalled it.
Oh, there you go.
And then we moved on.
You should probably start using the cloud for that so that you don't have to wait for those 80 gig installs,
See, but when you use the cloud, though, at least they're all mine, and maybe it's because my stuff's not good. Like, you don't get, like, the good visuals, and so I really wanted to, like, my stuff, every time I use the cloud, it's kind of like grainy. Like, I never get really crisp stuff. Do you?
On occasion it looks fine, but like it's more about like, do I really want to play this?
Oh, sure. But this was just because I wanted, like I said, I wanted to test the whole it looked like ass thing, and if I did it like a cloud, it was going to look like ass. Yeah,
I mean,
it looks like It looks like a game that's built off of the Fallout 4 engine, which is built off the Skyrim engine, which is built off the Fallout 3 engine, which is built off the Oblivion engine, which is built off the Morrowind engine.
Wow, he really ran back the history in one breath. That was.
I'm just saying, when people are like, "Yo, look at their new game." Fuck me, I don't remember what it's called.
Starfield.
It was Star something, and I'm like, it's not Citizen. Because this game's coming out. Yeah, I was gonna say this game's actually coming out. But there was like things in the walk cycle that I mentioned last week that I'm just like, that still looks like that's from like old engines.
So this is. I'm happy you brought that up because I would say what this actually has me a little worried about Starfield, because I know they said they reworked the stuff, And Fallout's controls are also ass. Why did we ever think that control scheme was good? Like the button setup is
because as an
weird.
RPG it works, but as a game that has slowly moved away from being able to stop time completely, it doesn't work as well.
Good point. Okay. Yeah, because the VATS thing doesn't, like, you can target, but it doesn't, like, stop like it does. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm hoping that the Starfield stuff is more modern day controls, less Bethesda doing their own thing controls. Because I really, really want that game to be good. I played some Diablo 4. I'm not level 100 like everybody else seems to be. That's all I see on Twitter. They're like, level 100 hardcore. And I'm like, but why? Okay.
Got a job.
Right. Like, God dang it, man. Shoot. Yeah. I think that's it. I'm good. That's all I played.
All right. Well, unlike you two losers, I played some Zelda this week.
But did you beat it yet?
I still ain't beat it. Like, I still refuse to go on that final mission. I refuse to do it.
Wow.
Like, my goal now was I finished the depths, so I've done all 120 light routes.
Yeah, man.
My next project is going through the shrines to finish all the... Because, now that I have
treasure chests.
Yeah, I skipped the treasure chests. They're worthless.
See, but it marks.
Yes, it marks
which
it
ones
complete.
have treasure.
Yeah,
and I can't stand leaving one incomplete.
So your ass drops a 40 weapon to pick up a 6 weapon.
I dropped the 40 weapon, take a photo of it because it's the first time I get to do that, and then I drop the 6 weapon, take a photo of that, and pick up my 40 weapon again.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
why you take a photo? What am I missing?
He's doing the compendium.
I'm doing the compendium.
Oh yeah, I got. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been doing all that.
Yeah, I'm not taking pictures. Fuck your pictures. I don't care. My experience.
Sounds like you're not much of a completionist.
I didn't say I was a completionist. I said I'm doing what I want to do because that's what Zelda lets me do. I'm doing the shrines. I'll tell you, like, when you start getting towards the end of those shrines, the thing that pisses me off the most is, like, the ones that are really hard to get to. Like, you got to do the surfing competition or the skydiving competition. And normally when you get those, it's just walk in and you get the freebie. Like, that's always my favorite.
Oh, like the ones that don't do that, where they're like, you now figure out a puzzle, motherfucker.
I ran into a worse one yesterday, so I did the snowboard down the hill, unlock the shrine, walk in, Link's naked. I'm like, oh, fuck you, game.
You know what? Here's the thing. I prefer the ones where they at least take away everything and it's like, now puzzle solve, basically. Because every time they're like, how about I show you how to do a thing you've already done? You can't do damage to these enemies using anything else. I'm like, I've done this.
I hate those.
Like,
yeah.
You've paced these so poorly. I've done this for hours now.
Yeah. I've yet to have one of those where it's been something that I didn't already know how to do. Like, I hate those.
Like, you sack of crap. Because at least with the test of strengths in Breath of the Wild, I always felt like there was at least something going on that was interesting and not just kind of annoying. And, like, I would much rather fight... By the way, I miss the Guardians. I know I've said that before, but, like, just in general, because they were more interesting to fight than the fucking, what are they called? The soldiers, the constructs.
Oh, yeah, the constructs, yeah.
The constructs are boring.
Yeah, they are. They're of 3 minds. There's the archers, the ones that combine shit, and then the ones that just annoy you with a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I miss the click music, the tonk as the fucking you're fighting the small guardians. I'm like, I
think some of my favorite shrine puzzles so far is getting the gem back to the shrine. Like, some of those are fun.
I've done 2 of those in the sky that were exactly the same, and I went, really?
I launched a glider out of a waterfall yesterday and flew one back to a shrine over a river. That was awesome.
I attached one to a little giant silver thing and, like, attached fans to it and a control stick and flew it to where I needed to go.
So somebody showed how you break those. you get to you throw something at the place you need to be, right?
And
then you just
it.
attach, and you attach the stone to it and rewind it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's how I'll be doing that from now on.
Wow.
Because fuck these puzzles for the most part. Anyway, and in the sky only. The only ones I don't like are in the sky. All the ones that are on the ground where you kind of have to figure out how you're going to get it back outside, interesting. There's like one on the far west of the map that you do like in a sinkhole or something like that. And I like that one a lot. There's a couple in the sky that aren't bad, but there's like two where you have to go into like the same sort of area that you have to cut the vines in and then fly your way back. And I'm like,
I had to do one yesterday where you have to adjust this big like monolith to cast a shadow over an object at a certain time of day.
I like that.
Holy crap.
That was cool.
That's a puzzle
really
that they've taken from the first Breath of the Wild, where you had to wait for a certain time of day for the shrine to open up. The shadow had to hit it just right, and you had to do something at that time. It was kind of a pain in the ass.
Indiana Jones type shit.
Yeah. That's
cool, though.
And yeah, 100 hours in, I finally got my first Will of the Sages. I didn't know you could upgrade the Sages.
Oh, I've had 3 of those.
Yeah, where do you? Because I totally didn't see the video.
As soon as you get 4, you can go to one of the goddess statues.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I think I have.
It just doesn't activate that option until you have 4.
Yeah, I found my first one on a random floating island in the sky with a construct.
Go and look at the giant spheres in the sky that have a hole that you move through them. Not going to tell you where on them, but there is.
I've been in one of those. Yeah, I've been in one of those.
There's multiple levels to those.
God, this game is so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Yeah, I have discovered the multiple levels thing. I found. It is, and I don't even have the depths even remotely explored. Like I have all the sky towers, but
the depths are clear for me. Like I've lit up the entire depths. There's no missing light route. You get a fucking medal for doing it, and it does nothing.
Of course.
Wow.
You've made the dark place not as dark. I mean, that is the accomplishment on its own.
Yeah.
100%. Like
that's the reward, motherfucker.
I've found so many more. The mining factories where you can buy the charges. I've almost maxed out the battery, and I'm not talking about the first run. I'm talking about the second. There's 2 levels.
I had my game fucking update because I was playing We Love Katamari.
Oh shit! Oops.
And so I didn't. So here's the thing. Normally that doesn't happen. It doesn't update stuff automatically. For me.
Yeah, there's an option to turn that off. You should have turned it off.
I've never had this issue before, so I didn't think there was going to be a problem. I thought I had it off.
I bet they were like pushing stuff through for the Zelda
I wouldn't
game,
be surprised.
Because they really wanted to stop people from, having fun.
I get scared every time I boot my game up because I have to tell it to skip the update. And I'm afraid I'm going to click the wrong button.
Like, no!
I think that's probably the reason why I paused, because I just saw the tedium in my future.
Yeah. That if I had to grind Zonite to buy the charges, I would lose my fucking mind.
Oh my god.
Ugh. But anyway, yeah, I played some more Zelda. Eventually, I will do that last mission. Eventually,
yeah.
But not anytime soon. I think I'm about halfway through my second row of hearts. I need to finish the second row of batteries. I've got stamina maxed out. I've got 2 sets of armor maxed out. So, yeah.
Oh, I've got a couple sets of armor fully maxed out.
Yeah, I need to get some Lionel parts for some of it.
I made sure to max out one of the Twilight Princess one is maxed out, as is the Ocarina of Time one. And then I have the Gerudo Vo outfit fully upgraded, so I can walk along the desert no problem. And then I want to say there's one more that's fully upgraded, but I don't remember what.
I love
Where
it
are y'all
when
finding these?
the armor.
Yeah, are they all in the depths? Because like the only complete set I have is the damn. Well, I must be missing a lot of shit.
The Gerudo Vo one is kind of a pain in the ass.
Most of the
Okay,
armor
well, I'll
sets
find
are
a
a
guide.
pain in the ass.
That one is specifically a pain in the ass because the Gerudo City is a bit of a labyrinth, especially to get into the store where you can buy the last two parts of that outfit.
Okay.
And then some of them are just flat out easy, like the fire armor. You just fucking buy it.
That was
I got that. I bought
that's
that.
how that was in Breath of the Wild as well, because you fucking need that to even be near the volcano.
Yep, I have that. That's one of the sets I have maxed out. So like if I'm in the fire area and something hits me, it does like a half heart damage. I'm like, come at me, bitch.
Nice, Lord.
Yeah, nothing can hurt me in that armor. It's beautiful. But yeah, I played some Zelda. I kicked off Season 5 of Overwatch, and I placed once. I'm still Masters. But I haven't played it since.
Wow, really?
I played one night. And did my placements for support, and then I turned it off, and I just haven't gone back.
Okay.
It's the matchmaking is still what it was. Like I had games where I was carrying, and I had games where I got stomped. So
yeah, and that's the reason why I just have. I want to go back. I like playing the game, but that matchmaking is so fucking terrible. Like all the things that are wrong with that game, outside of just any sort of online game, i.e., people are awful. It's just like, this is all stuff that's on your end. I can't do anything about. Like, buying a new console that runs better isn't going to fix the issue that I'm having. It's like, your game crashes, your game kicks me out, doesn't load, your servers do the same thing. It's like, this sucks.
yeah, I don't have those problems. I just had problems with the matchmaking.
Well, I mean, but then you do connect. That's not common, but that's stuff that's there. And then when you do connect, it's like, well, you're getting rolled or rolling, and that's not really fun either way.
No,
yeah. I thought they fixed the matchmaking. I thought y'all.
They claim
maybe I
they
missed
fix
that
the
message.
well, no, they claim they fix the matchmaking all the time. And
okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm playing in Masters, and I got people on my team who look like they should have been in like Silver.
Oh wow!
Like,
so
dude,
it's not fixed. Okay.
On support, I outdamaged both of my DPS combined, and still out-healed the other healer, and we lost. And my tank had like 2 kills. I'm like, this is no.
Man.
Yeah, it's bad, and it sucks. Like Anthony said, out of anybody, I love playing that game. Like, that game is so much fun to play. But when 80% of your matches are bad, it stops being fun. So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't have any other big games to talk about, so I'll just roll through some interesting indies I played. I played this game called Steel Assault. It's been out on Switch and PC for a while, but I just now got a chance to play it. It's a really good pixel art game. That is like reminiscent of like some old school like side-scrolling action games, and I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know how people play this game on the normal difficulty, because I got to the first boss and he just wrecked me. Like, his pattern doesn't mesh well with the game design, because you have like this like whip, almost like this electric whip that you hit enemies with, and it's like kind of hard to aim in different directions. Like, it only has an 8-way direction shot, and the boss will like float above you, and he would shoot a beam at me, and I could dodge that one, but then he would immediately shoot another beam that I couldn't dodge. So I'm like, this game just feels like it's being punishing for the sake of being punishing, which sucks because it's beautiful. Like, I really enjoyed it. It plays really well. It looks really good. But it just seems like it's there to punish you consistently.
Yeah.
I checked out the Grey Hill Incident, the Alien game.
I've heard this is very bad.
Oh
yeah, I
my
have too.
God! So we got to talk about this intro. So I'm gonna say right off the bat, whoever made this game, you've watched way too much Signs. Like, I love that movie, but you are pretty much like just riffing that entire movie, as far as your location, kind of how it's working, your jump scare. Like, I knew where the jump scares were going to come from because I'd seen that movie.
Oh, wow.
So, like, but it still didn't stop it from scaring the shit out of me because I'm terrified of aliens. Right. So the intro, you thought Rockay City had some bad dialogue. The intro of this game is 3 people talking over a radio, and they know that there is some shit going on, like, and they have like shifts that they take to be like a neighborhood watch. And the woman on the call is constantly like, I think we should call the police. And there's, of course, this big redneck dude that's like, don't you dare call the police. They just gonna think you crazy. And at one point he tells the woman, he's like, I forbid you, woman. And wow. I'm just like, are you fucking serious with this shit? So the game is you're playing one of those 3 characters on your night shift. And this is just, I mean, man, do you want to be taken out of a game? So you're living in this house, it's you and your son. And I walk out in the living room and my son is laying on the floor looking at a TV that doesn't work. And he won't move. He just lays on the floor staring at the TV that won't work.
Oh, Lord.
And you can hear the alien banging on the door. And he just lays there. He's like, yeah, there's something outside. There's something outside. Oh. Like the dog is barking like crazy, because it's just like Signs. The dog is barking at the thing outside. So that you go outside and like the alien goes in the shed, and then the dog disappears, and there's a cornfield, because you know, of course, there's a cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go back in the house, and he's like, oh, the TV's working now. I'm just like, dude, what is this game? What is this game? What is this game?
Oh, man.
It's not good. It's really not good.
And it's co-op, too. So, like, is it, like, you just play all 3 of those people?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't know it was co-op. Like, I just was playing solo. So.
Oh, that's wild. That's a shame. It looked cool, but man.
I was still shitting my pants. Like, when I was out there trying to, because it's like, you got to figure out how to get in the shed, and you can hear the thing moving around the shed, and as soon as you open the door, I was expecting it to jump out at me. But then, like, you go in the shed, and, like, you can see it escape through the roof, and you can hear its feet, like, on the roof, and I'm like, ah! You know. Like, it could be really good. But yeah. God, the in-between stuff just takes you out of it so hard.
Man.
It looks good and it runs good. I'll give it that.
Oh, that's a plus, because actually I thought graphics was one of the issues that people had with it. But okay. All right.
I mean, it doesn't look like anything special, but it's not like bad looking.
Yeah, I got you.
Most of the other stuff I played was kind of trash. There's a new beat-em-up archive of 2 games I've never heard of from Cubite Classics. I checked that out. One of the games is called Legend. I forget. The other one's called Soldier or something Soldier. They both feel like the same game, except in one you have guns and the other you have a sword. So, you know.
Nice.
And I think that's it. I did buy a mini PC to set up a Batocera emulation station, and I'm probably just going to fuck around with that for like a few weeks, because I get obsessed about those things.
Yeah, the tweaking, we've talked about it, that's part of the fun.
Oh yeah, it's getting the stuff set up and you know, getting all your box arts downloaded, and you know, getting your little videos and separating your games and making sure they're all right, and then tweaking the performance settings, and I think that's actually the game. I think that's the game.
I think you might be right.
I don't think playing the game is the important part. I think it's just tweaking all the shit.
Yep.
I think that's it. Like, Zelda still is a game that I would just pop in, and like you said, if I turn it on, it's going to be 4 or 5 hours before I turn it off.
Yeah, like it just pulls you in.
Yep. Like, I'm going to do one more shrine. I'm going to go collect one more thing.
Mitralia, those shrines get really hard when you're high.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh God, I know. Oh,
I'm
man.
like, yeah, man, my brain's not.
Like, I've had to just leave a couple of them. Like, you know what? I'm gonna teleport to this later. I'm gonna continue up this mountain. Like,
I played a lot of Case of the Golden Idol High, and then I was like, you know what, that ain't working, because I'd have to I'd figure out one thing and be like, yeah, that was a lot of mental.
yeah, man. Yeah, you can't be high and play everything. It doesn't work for everything.
Let me tell you, even Katamari gets a little difficult with the amount of shit that's going on. I was like,
believe it.
Because in theory, I'm like, yeah, it's, you roll up things, you get bigger, and then it's like, yeah,
right.
But you're trying to do that as fast as possible, and I just don't got the reaction time.
Speaking of video games, let's talk about what's out this week. It's kind of a big week. There's some pretty big games coming out this week. We'll start with Series X, PlayStation 5, where we've got Age of Wonders 4, Dragon Dawn, Aliens Dark Descent, Crash Team Rumble.
I'm just gonna ask a question. What is Aliens Dark Descent?
It's the top-down game, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
a
real-time strategy. Okay, because you know what? Every time I've heard of this, I'm like, yeah, that's that multiplayer game.
No. This is not game. That one.
That was Fire Team.
This one is a different one. Yeah,
this looks
really
I'm looking
cool.
at it. Yeah. Okay. I'm in with this. All right. That's cool.
It has XCOM vibes. Like, yes, permadeath. Like, you can lose Marines. You have to watch their stress levels and stuff. Like, if because the aliens can abduct your people. Like, they could just grab and drag off one of your people, and it'll freak everybody out.
Okay. The way you're getting excited, Terrence. Have you ever played? Hold on. Aliens for the DS. Alien Infestation.
I have no.
Okay, so Way Forward made it.
I like them.
It says Way Forward and Gearbox, but about that. It's sort of a Metroidvania, but the idea is that every time you go out with a Marine, that is that Marine. Like, that is it. If they die and do not make it back, they are dead.
Nice.
And nice. It's got the Giger-esque art style, sort of, in pixel form, and it kind of looks like Contra at the same time. It looks like all the stuff the Alien influenced, but now you're playing it. Alien Infestation.
Okay.
I think this is hilarious. Like, we had this conversation last week about City Skylines sounding like work to you and to Ryan. And when you talk about managing a fucking Solos NPC stress meter, I'm like, dude, that sounds like just awful work.
Well, it's not like you managing it for real. It's kind of like the XCOM thing. Like, when you play XCOM and a teammate gets killed, your guy freaks out, and so now he's going to start missing shots and stuff like that. So it's that. Well, I guess it is just managing it. Never mind.
I can handle this though. If it's an RTS with a pause, we're good. It's an RTS that everything just keeps going no matter what the fuck you're doing. I'm out. I can't do that shit.
Well, I was just gonna say,
it has a pause.
You can pause time in City Skylines. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you the reason why. There's no fucking aliens. I'm now just doing city planning.
There are aliens in City Skylines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can have an alien invasion.
Okay, that was the best part about SimCity and stuff. Is build up a city and then have a giant robot come and destroy half of it or whatever.
But Bowser in this Super Nintendo version.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
All right. The Miasma Chronicles, I'm assuming that's a physical version because it's already out. The Elder Scrolls Online Necrom, which is the newest expansion. Apico, whatever that is. Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine, which, you know what that is.
Wow.
That's Super Meat Boy's
I want to know if it
Mean
is
Bean Machine.
I want to actually double check to see if it is sort of, yeah, with a lot of twists, but it is Mean Bean Machine. Sort of, with a lot of saws. A lot of saw blades.
I mean, that's a Meat Boy thing. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie, The Bookwalker, Thief of Tales. Valtherian Arc, Hero School Story 2,
Hold on. How do you spell that? Valtherian.
Valtherian.
All right,
Valthirian.
It's already solving that. Okay. That's
Yeah, I don't.
That's way more than when with a name like that. My immediate response is, oh, it's one of those Chemco games.
Yes.
No, it's a 3D build a school for RPG heroes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The new Scout Fold game, Usurper, is out this week. And then
That's a pretty decent series for a one-man team.
And then Sonic Origins Plus is out on Friday.
Find that. Don't know what's in it still.
Game Gear games, I know for sure. PlayStation 5, a lot of the same games, but we're also getting Robolt, The Last Hero of Nostalgia, Rogue Legacy 2 finally making its way over to PlayStation, C-Smash VRS, Tiny Troopers Global Ops, and maybe this little indie game you've heard of called Final Fantasy 16.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, isn't that out this week?
That's out this week. PlayStation 4, pretty much the same stuff. Yep, nothing different there. Xbox One, which, yeah. Alice Sisters, whatever that is. Gravity Thrust and Time of War Arcano 90. So, there's those games. Let's go to Switch.
Okay, I'm looked up. So, the Sonic Origins Plus does add all those Game Gear games. But,
also,
Amy
it's playable like Amy and Knuckles, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Neat.
Nintendo Switch. I'm curious how much the upgrade is. Like, if you own the original, how much is the upgrade?
How about you buy it all again, motherfucker?
How about I don't, because I already own Sonic Origins.
Put a gun to your head? Yeah, well.
You gotta go fast with some chili dogs.
Also, okay. That's way past cool.
Way past cool.
I looked up The Last Hero of Nostalgia. It's a satirical action-adventure brought to life by a twisted and wicked tale, featuring hard but fair combat.
Souls.
Yep.
Full character customization, unique battle armor, engaging narrative mechanics, rich in lore, and boy, I'm watching the trailer without sound, but it sure is giving me Matt Hazard vibes, but with Dark Souls.
No, thank you.
Oh boy, he sure is doing Dark Souls rolls. God damn it.
Yeah, that's the new Trojan horse, is they don't call it a Souls-like, they call it hard but fair.
Yep. Challenging but fair combat. Nope, that's
I will say this. Your character, like, without armor, is just white lines.
Nice.
Okay.
He looks like an old, like, Atari character in full 3D, but he's flat. I wasn't expecting that. He took the helmet off, and it's just a white line.
Alright, Nintendo Switch. A lot of the same games we already talked about, but we're also getting this masterpiece, Finger Football Golden 2, Zenful Journey, Novalands, Orlox Constellations, Earthen Dragon, Marble Ball Friends, Neko Secret Homecoming, Pretty Princess Magical Garden Island, Princess Closet Fashion and Love Will Change Me, Railway Empire Nintendo Switch Edition.
I just want to note that I'm really hoping those princess games are for kids.
No, probably not.
They're probably not.
Rice Bowl Restaurant, Unimime, Unicycle Madness, Sky Caravan, and Trix Magician. Those are your new releases for the week. Time for the news. Fire Emblem for Game Boy Advance is coming to the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack on June 23rd. Japan is also getting Fire Emblem The Blinding Blade. Hold on, I gotta pull up the PlayStation Plus for what is that? June 2023. I need the list of stuff.
All that awesome list of premium stuff.
All right, so here we go. Here's your list of games coming to the PlayStation Plus. Far Cry 6, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, Rogue Legacy 2, Inscription, Solstice, Tacoma, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Killing Floor 2, Lonely Mountain Downhill, Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York, 100 Days Winemaking Simulator, A Hat in Time, Carto, Forager, Dodgeball Academia, The Wild at Heart, Redout 2, Thief, MX vs. ATV Legends, Paw Patrol, Mighty Pups, Save Adventure Bay, Go Drew, My Friend Peppa Pig, DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace, The Talos Principle Deluxe Edition, Elix 2, and Conan Exiles. Those are your essential? Is that no extra? Extra.
I'm going to tell everybody right now, I know I made it like one of my game of the years, but Carto is worth playing. Please play Carto. I think there's a lot of worth playing in there, but like Carto is such a unique experience, and it's just like a feel-good game that if you're like, you know, just want to have a good time and solve some puzzles, that's a great game to do so.
All right, you ready for that premium high-tier classics collection that you've been waiting on?
Oh, Lord.
We got 4 games this month. We got Killzone Liberation. We got Worms for the PS1. We actually get a good game. We get Herc's Adventures, which if you've never played it, is a fantastic game.
I think I remember that. Okay.
And then we get Coded Soul, and that's it. Oh, this service sucks so bad.
Oh, right. I was going to say, what is Herc's Adventure like partially attached to? But that's right. It's Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man.
Sony.
That
was a LucasArts game, too,
Hold on.
I think.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say to that whole selection of games.
Bruh.
Yeah.
They could not. I mean, it could not be worse if they tried. Like, it's so bad. I don't even understand the point of it.
Like, guys, Ratchet and Clank, thank you.
Dude, a PS2 game, period.
Yeah.
They have yet to add a PS2 game.
Yeah.
That's because it would take actual work.
I know. PS1 doesn't, though, and they can't even do that.
Hey, you got Herc's Adventure.
Yeah. And it's
I've had it.
Which was being sold for like $4 on PSN.
I want you to know that I've had that for a long time, and I've been playing it regularly. Just saying. Sony is like, you know what? We're going to test this new fangled streaming service. They're testing streaming PS5 games that you own. So, there you go. Obsidian is celebrating 20 years with a 20th anniversary documentary. I'm assuming that'll be up on like a YouTube or something.
Here's where we got screwed for making Fallout New Vegas, and they forced us to release it early so we didn't get our bonus.
I'm sure that will be in there.
I doubt it will be.
So, we finally may come to the end of the Activision Blizzard saga by the end of June.
Oh, fucking... okay.
Basically, there's a court filing. There's an injunction from the FTC to block it. Microsoft is taking it to court. The hearing got sped up and is now starting on June 22nd. And basically, if the FTC gets their way, Microsoft is just going to drop it. But if they win, it closes. So we're finally there, boys. We can see the finish line. Thank Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of hearing about it. As a consumer, I want it to go through so I get all those games for, I don't want to say free, because I have to pay for Game Pass. I'm not Drew. I don't play, Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
I'll have you know, I have not paid for
for a single month of Game Pass.
Yeah,
I know, Drew. Yeah, I know. You say that like it's a flex, yet we all make fun of you
it's
for
been
it.
13 years and I ain't paid for Game Pass. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
I
how much Paw Patrol am I paying?
I just have Paw Patrol directly inserted into my brain for about 5 minutes each day. Like,
So, what are we gonna talk about in the news when this is over?
Right.
I would rather talk about like having to flush a giant turd than fucking talk about this Activision fucking thing ever again. That's how fucking done with it I am. It's so fucking annoying.
What's not wrong? Like this has been a journey. Like, golly.
Redfall got its 1.1 update, which does not include the 60
It
FPS
stops
patch.
it stops the game from working altogether.
I mean, the
Says
players.
you're welcome.
The players did that on their own when they stopped playing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're touting 1 million players. I'm like, yeah, 1 million people probably did boot it up.
For a minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox blog posts some numbers and stats. 150 million monthly active users for first-party games. They're doubling down on the at least 4 big games a year plan. ID at Xbox has paid out over $4 billion to over 5,000 creators. There are over 5,000 games in development for Xbox, more than ever before. 5,000 games.
They say that type of thing a lot. Like, didn't we hear that a couple years ago? They're like, we now have. They didn't say the number, but they said we now have the most games in development for Xbox that we've ever had. Well, okay, that's cool. But development ain't like coming out. Like you can tell me that you got all that stuff working, but if you only release 12 of that 5,000,
I don't think
the
they're
hell
talking
happened?
about themselves. They're talking about overall.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. I give them to them.
Like going back and doing retro stuff and learning how small libraries of video game consoles are.
Mm.
Dude, the Nintendo Entertainment System had less than 1,000 games.
Did he really? Wow. You know what? You're right. You're right.
Like, we get more than that in a year now.
This is true. From, all kinds of sources with the indies and all that stuff. You're right. Okay.
Yeah. It's crazy how many video games there are to play. It's just, good God. Game Pass coming to GeForce Now. Rumor mill, People Can Fly. The people that made Gears of War, Judgment, and Outriders are working on a new project with Microsoft called Project Maverick. Supposedly, it's based on a Microsoft-owned IP with a budget between $30 and $50 million.
Okay. That's a Gears spinoff.
I heard it was not.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we know what it was?
No.
Did you hear what it is?
Somebody tweeted, so the only reason that I saw this is somebody tweeted, like, this is a Gears spinoff, and Jez Corden said, no, that's false.
Okay.
So
All
I
right,
trust
yeah,
him more than random dude on Twitter. So
that lumberjack dude.
Oh,
you don't trust him?
Fuck this dude. He still has the tweet up about how Sony's buying Take-Two. Let's go.
I know. I saw. Jesus. Oh man.
Somebody asked Matt Booty if they would put Activision on Halo. He said that's the studio's decision and they wouldn't dictate that from the top. I don't care. I just don't care.
I just want this to end.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I want this to end to force Microsoft to actually give a shit.
Alright, I have a new thing that I hate more than timed exclusives. It's timed exclusive announcements. Microsoft is guilty of this, where they tell Atlas, like, you can only say the Persona games are coming out for Xbox for 3 days.
Yeah.
Because they announced that the Persona games are also coming to PC and PlayStation. Like, no shit. No shit.
Right.
Like, I don't understand. Like, they still haven't announced it for Switch, which I saw rumors floating around that there's a direct before the end of June. Like, it's probably coming to Switch, right?
I mean, I'm sure. Like, why do they have... Whatever. It's fine. Okay.
I mean, this
Yeah.
stuff is so stupid. Like, a 3-day exclusive on what it's announced for is almost as dumb as, what was it we saw, the Callisto Protocol's final DLC is exclusive to PlayStation for 2 days?
Yep. Yeah. And they would have had to pay for that.
Yeah.
So they paid for that 2-day What did that net you, though? Like,
Nobody's playing Callisto Protocol.
Right. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh, man. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn has been delayed to 2024.
I was looking forward to that. That looks kind of cool.
News that will piss you off. According to former Respawn developer Mohammed Alavi, he confirms that Titanfall 3 was canceled 10 months after starting development and was actually playable.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah. That's so... Oh, man. But I get it. Like, if you read the whole thing, like, I get it, why they pivoted. I mean, because the sales for Titanfall 2 just weren't there. I mean, they gave everybody the single player that they wanted, and the single player is phenomenal in Titanfall 2 if you've never played it. But the multiplayer, I think, still, it didn't grab everybody.
It was between two other multiplayer games, and apparently that was their decision.
Yeah, Battlefield and
that
Call
release
of Duty.
date?
Yeah, it was Respawn's decision to release between fucking Battlefield and Call of Duty. You're fucking idiots.
Oh, I thought that was EA.
Everybody thought it was EA,
that.
and then within the last couple of years, it's been kind of like, oh no, it was Respawn's idea. So, well, then you don't let them make ideas like that.
Yeah, because
that's bad. It was regardless of who at the end of the day set that out to die. They sent it out to die. Like, that is a terrible spot to put a game. Sorry.
Yeah.
On what level?
You're right. That was
ever work out. Yeah.
And that hurts that they won't go back to Titanfall. I know they keep saying it's possible.
Well,
no,
you're not going to go back to the Titanfall universe. You're going to go back to whatever the fucking free to play game is.
Yeah, and they changed the name
universe.
too. It's weird because everything used to be Apex is in the Titanfall universe. Now it's just the Apex universe, and it's like, well, what the fuck? So you just forgot Titanfall, but yeah. And then they have the Star Wars license. They ain't gonna go back to Titanfall. They got money. They good. They gonna move on. That's sad.
Embracer fucked up.
Oh yeah.
They spent a lot of money and it didn't pay off, so they're laying off an undisclosed amount of people, closing or divesting in some studios, termination or pausing in some ongoing development projects, and the reducing of third-party publishing. Oops.
This is, yeah. I mean, and this is all from that, and I think we talked about it, that thing where maybe we only messaged about it, but the director or CEO was talking about that deal that fell through. Was it $3 billion or $6 billion, however many $1 billion that was supposed to finance them for the next 5 years or something like that, but it fell through, and he was visibly upset. But I guess all this is the fallout of that, and they have to sell off stuff and everything, which they own everything. But this is also, I guess, a good case for why it sucks to have everybody owned under one entity, because who's going to get sold off that's not going to recover? You know what I mean?
Well, they stopped kind of focusing on what I liked them for anyways, which was taking, AA titles and getting those out and remastering AA, older AA games. And it's like, they started biting off more than they could chew, and I'm like, okay, that's still cool, I'm still with you, but then they, they kept taking new games on, but not releasing any of these old games in updated form. And then, it's like, okie dokie. They kind of lost where they won me over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, remember when they had Darksiders 3 come out? That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, they were working on. Yep. They brought out back Saints Row, even though it didn't turn out as great as they wanted.
Yeah, that one's maybe the studio just doesn't have it in them anymore.
Yeah, Volition hasn't made a wonderful game since the 360 era.
Yeah, and let's be honest, really, Saints Row 3 was their last game. Saints Row 4 was originally add-on content that just expanded past that.
Sure, it was still good though.
No, I mean I know, but I'm just saying, like, really, that's like all just sort of one development cycle. So it's like the last time they made something really was around Saints Row 3, and then they did Agents of Mayhem.
Oh, yeah, they did. They also did Gat Out of Hell. Don't forget that.
In descending order, Gat Out of Hell, and then Agents of Mayhem, and then the new Saints Row.
Yeah. For a studio that used to be one of my favorites, between Red Faction and Saints Row, and it's just...
Wow, yeah, I just realized, I just pulled them up. I didn't realize they did the Descent series in Free Space. Like, that's going back to, when we were, but holy crap. Yeah, they actually are awesome.
They were.
I know that a lot of that team got laid off at one point. I want to say right after Agents of Mayhem. And then I want to say, like, one of the guys that was, like, really...
They did some of that? I'm sorry.
Had control over a bunch of stuff, passed away because he was working on making sure the Steam version, because they had found the source code for Saints Row 2, so he was making sure the Steam version of Saints Row 2 could be updated, and then he passed away, unfortunately. And so that never happened, and it's just like, it was a studio that was, like, just not the same group anymore, and probably shouldn't have been working on a project like Saints Row by themselves. Yeah.
So,
and I'm going to say something, just quickly about Agents of Mayhem. Agents of Mayhem seems like a Gotham Knights situation where, like, it seems like you were building one game and then had to bail, and it just didn't work out as well as Gotham Knights did in that particular scenario. But it's like, this seemed like it was a hero shooter, and then you ditched that and made it single player.
Yeah, it feels like a co-op game, and it's not co-op.
Yep.
I tried so hard to like Agents of Mayhem. I played it so many times, and every time I played it, I was like, this is a bad game.
Yep, same. Like, I tried different characters. Oh, man.
Yeah. Alright, Soul Calibur 5 has been delisted from Xbox 360 and PS3 stores.
Oh,
it's my least favorite Soul Calibur game. Goodbye.
It's so funny because, like, I saw people on Twitter like, we will never... What's that character's name? The new character that they put in that game?
Soul Calibur 5?
Yeah, it was like...
Which one? There's a bunch of them. Because there was all the kids.
Like, everybody was
Dampier.
upset. Dampier, that's the one. Everybody's like, Dampier is gone forever. I was like, dude, he sucked. Like...
Dampier sucked. The kids, Aeon and... Pyra, both fucking sucked.
Like, I think I played this one. Jesus,
So you remember everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite thing is playing as the kids of the characters you like.
The guest character in this game was Ezio.
Ezio,
which is like,
I think,
the assassin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Soul Calibur.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Aeon. Aeon was wrong. Sorry, Patroclus, Alexander, and Pyra Alexandra, which were the children of the older sister, the Greek character.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember her name.
I have to look her fucking up. Cassandra, I believe.
Cassandra was one of them. There was another one too, but I don't remember.
I think it's Cassandra, because Cassandra is the older of the two sisters.
I don't know the Soul Calibur storyline other than the fact that, like, every other game kind of sucks. Like, Soul Calibur 1 and 2 were great, 3 was bad, 4 was good, 5 was bad.
I like 3. 3
is not good.
3 tries some stuff.
It tries some stuff, but it's not that good.
4 is good. 5 is fucking awful. 5 is the worst. I'm sorry, like, it does. Again, you take all the characters everybody likes and you go, none for you. And
which one had like Yoda and Darth Vader on PlayStation?
4.
Okay, I think that's the last one I played before I got 6. So yeah,
5 is not I don't like to see games get delisted because it just takes things away. But if any Soul Calibur got delisted, this is the one I'm okay with.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I I own it.
Just
Like, I have
really-
the disc, so it's not like I'll lose
I
it,
have
but, you know.
the special edition, and I bought all the DLC.
But can you still download it? Oh.
It doesn't matter. I have a terabyte hard drive it's on.
I know. It's
And it's Sophitia. Sophia is the younger sister, I believe.
That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, Cassandra and Sophia. Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, Soul Calibur.
Oh no, it is Sophia's children. Cassandra's the younger sister. Fucking stupid. Fuck this series.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know
Bandai
anything about
Namco's
that story.
fighting game stories are all dumb. So
I do like the one where it's. I do like this one though because it's just about a fucking sword and everybody tries to get it, even though like Nightmare
Yes,
always
all I-
has it.
Yeah, and that's what always threw me off. And then I found there was two different Soul Edge. There's a Soul Edge, and then somebody has
Soul
that's-
Calibur and
Yeah,
Soul
that's
Edge.
the most
is-
I know.
And
I
Nightmare
played
is
those
now its
games.
own creature, even though it was originally the continuation of Siegfried.
Yeah.
Sure, fuck you.
And then he'll be in the match too, and it's like, but how? Okay, that's fine. Or in
the
game
soul
too, but
still
yeah.
burns.
That right there, that's why I play those games. Because when you start you start a match and it, have the little beautiful thing around, and then the announcer comes on and he's like, "A pickle in the jar will save his life."
Nothing
And then the match
is
starts.
better than Soul Calibur 2 with Lizard Man.
Yes. Lizard man.
Lizard Man. Like, okay.
Every time somebody says that, I immediately think of Heartbeat Birdman.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
State your first name, your last name, and occupation. Lizard Man, and Lizard Man.
Oh, Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. So good. So
Such a
good.
good show.
According to Ed Boon, Injustice 3 is still in the cards. So maybe they'll make
Which
another
is
one.
cool.
No Green Hill Zone in Sonic Superstars. Anthony, give us a report. How sad are you?
I'm so fucking glad we're just. Here's the thing: they'll say no Green Hill Zone, but I'm sure we'll see the fucking same graphics. Stop going to Green Hill Zone. I know. All right, I know. Do new things. Chemical Plant Zone, everybody. Don't you remember? I do because I'm not a goldfish. Please do a new area. God damn.
The music for Chemical Plant Zone is so good, though.
Yeah, but like nowadays they can't even use it without paying the original composer because he owns all the rights to the first two Sonic games music. So they try not to, and it's just like, well, if I'm gonna be in Chemical Plant Zone and you're not going to play the music, don't fucking bother. Just make a new area.
Steam's desktop client got a new update. Visual and
It
usability update, improved Steam notifications, redesigned in-game overlay. You can now write notes, you can pin overlay stuff in-game, and more.
I like it.
I haven't even seen
Yeah, it's
it.
pretty
I
clean.
couldn't even
It's
tell you the
pretty
last
clean.
time I booted up Steam.
It's pretty nice. I like the fact that like if you right click on the Steam icon, it actually shows you the icons of all the things that you've recently played or the newest games added to your library and stuff. But it's nice big text instead of like it was a little bit smaller before. Yeah, everything just you know what? This is how you do. I'm not to like praise Steam but Steam didn't fuck it up like all these websites that decide to be like, I'm changing the style of the website, and you look at it and you go, why did you do that? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And they're like, it's for usability. Like all the users will have a better time with this. And it's like, no, we don't at all. Like this maintained where most of the stuff was, added new features that are minimal, but they're there if you need them, and did just minor tweaks to make everything look and run a bit better.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's how you do a fucking update. Frig. Fucking Facebook. I'm not there anymore, but Jesus Christ. Every time. I'd be like, why? Why did you fucking undo the decision you made 20 years ago?
Dead Cells is getting an animated series in 2024.
Sure.
How has Dead Cells got an animated series and Overwatch still doesn't? This makes no sense.
That's on...
Makes no sense.
That's on fucking Activision Blizzard.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. I'm sure they've probably been approached by some studio like, hey, we want to make a show. And they're probably like, nah, we going to wait.
They approved the Warcraft movie.
Actually, that's right. Yeah.
That they did, but they were looking to make big money from China on that one.
Well,
I liked that movie. Actually,
I'm just saying,
like
that's apparently where they made a ton of money, because I think they just had re-released World of Warcraft officially in China.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
Director of Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, will be directing the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, okay, so I guess they just unofficially announced or confirmed that a sequel is coming, which I'm sure we
all kind of felt that was happening,
Yeah, but that's cool. This update does look good, this Phantom Liberty. Oh, you know what? That's the one thing I did not say that I played. Well, two things, because I actually played Miasma Chronicles 2, but I haven't played enough of it to really talk about it. But I finished Cyberpunk.
Man, that ending is depressing.
Yeah, do you realize that I restarted it and made a different decision at the ending because I was like, maybe I fucked up. Like, what is happening? Like, that was depressing. Like,
yeah.
Did I?
No, it's just a bleak fucking world.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm like, but then that makes me question, well, how are we doing the expansion?
You see it in the trailer. You see it in the trailer.
I need to rewatch it because I watched that before I finished it. So I'll rewatch the trailer.
Yeah,
all right.
They literally when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I hope everybody's finished that game because
Okay, see, yeah, because I wasn't okay. Yep, I'm gonna rewatch it after the show. Okay.
Dan Houser, co-founder of Rockstar, established a new studio, Absurd Ventures, which will work on multimedia projects like live action and animation, books, games, and more. So
cool.
He got a couple dollars.
Remember when there was a guy that did that and named his company Concept?
There was also what's the other one?
Benzies?
Is it Benzies where his game is nobody knows what the fuck it is? Yeah, I think it is Benzies.
Yeah, it's Benzies. Yeah.
His game is called Life or some shit. Here is Life. Fucking.
Hold on, let me.
Wait, he's making a game that nobody know. Okay. Right.
If you watch the trailer,
it's called Everywhere.
Yeah. It's the most pretentious shit you'll ever watch. You watch it and you're like, dude, no.
It's an upcoming video game by Build a Rocket Boy. Set in an open world environment, it'll feature seamless cooperative multiplayer.
Was this at the Game Awards? Was this the
Gamescom
last year?
2022?
Okay, Gamescom, yeah.
Yeah, or Gamescom. Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Okay, yeah.
You watch it and you're like your bullshit meter's going off full speed. This ain't nothing.
Yep. This is.
Did he die?
I don't know. Did he?
He started talking and it went bzzz, and then he disappeared. Oh, and he's gone.
Okay, well. Terrence's brain has been blown.
Terrence is dead. Oh, shit. Alright, let's give him a minute. Focus Entertainment established Carpool Studio, a new studio led by industry veterans. The first project will be an ambitious live multiplayer game. Okay, I still smell bullshit. What happened? Nope.
Terrence is still dead.
He's back in the room, but he's dead.
Yeah, his corpse has been thrown back in.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I can I just say I'm tired of the guy who worked on the Everywhere site killed Terrence's microphone.
That's hilarious. Benzies done fucked you up, son.
I just want to say I'm so tired of and I know these people make great games, whatever. The only person, because he brought most of his staff with him, the only person that I really cared about, where it was insert creator, is Hideo Kojima, because he did bring a ton of people with him to his new studio. So it was the team is still the people that worked on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, welcome back. Benzies done fucked up your mic, man.
Listen, I went to the Everywhere site, Everywhere game, and I'm like, okay, and then it started to load, and then I was talking, and then I heard you be like, oh, where'd it go? And then my whole computer blacked out, and then it came back up, and then the mic did, and I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck that everywhere game. Just stay away from it, y'all.
That was the game. That was the game right there.
It was actually, everywhere. It loads in like an infinite amount of tabs of every single place on the planet via Google Maps.
Nice.
That's how much your computer can handle before it crashes.
Before it crashes. Yeah, that's what it was. So yeah.
God.
That's funny.
But yeah, all these companies where it's like the person that worked on this, I'm at the point where it's like I've been through this ringer enough. Just put out a game.
Remember that big collection of developers that Sony bought? What was it? Deviation Games. Like they didn't even finish their first game. They just all got fired.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
Like, goddamn.
It's just though, like, you know. I get it. Like, you were in charge of a team, but, like, that's still Rockstar Games. Yeah. At the end of the day. Like, unless you had a mass exodus with you, it doesn't mean anything to me. Like, do you think Benzies was in there touching every piece of grass? Like, you know, do you think the Hausers were like, I've figured out the physics perfectly for this car to drive over this fucking dirt? Like, no.
I'll tell you
it's a team effort.
The one that shocked me the most is like when Itagaki left Team Ninja and he supposedly took all of his top talent with him, and then his game sucked, but Team Ninja continued to be okay. Like,
I remember that. Yep.
Maybe you didn't take the best talent with you.
Yep.
Although, let's be fair, when they split up, neither was as good as when they were together. Faux show.
True. But I mean, I think that's changed by now. But like, the only person I've ever cared about in some sense was that, like, Hideo Kojima, like, brought along as many people as he could.
Yeah,
I mean, he basically just reopened the same fucking studio. So
it's kind of this isn't the first time it's happened to Konami, because if you remember, that's what Treasure was. Treasure was a group of people from Konami that got tired of making the same shit and went off and made Treasure.
So, you know, it does happen, but, like, who is at Hauser's studio? You know what I mean? Like,
hard telling.
Because, like, let's be honest here, like, even, like, we know that, like, as much as we like to say Hideo Kojima game, like, you do know he has specific people he wants to do with his artwork, you know? And he wants, like, he's very particular with the people he works with because he knows they do good work.
And those pictures of him sitting with Jeff at the or whatever that place was where he debuted his documentary.
Ugh.
My friend was at that in New York last night.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of him sitting next to Jeff, and Jeff is smiling, and Kojima just looks pissed.
Yeah, because the relationship is not it's not the same in Kojima's head, I think, as it is in Jeff's.
Yeah. All right, I got a Terrence announcement, so I'm glad you're back. Ubisoft announced the Skull and Bones beta, but already scrapped the beta for console, with a dev saying it was never intended to be for consoles, even if players could sign up for it.
Wow. Okay. First of all, I didn't know that that they scrapped it for console. That game, it's never going to come out.
That game's not real.
I don't. It's about to be the Star Citizen of consoles. Like, I don't. What the hell?
That game has only produced one thing.
When you actually are getting, like, wood and stuff, like, you can come off the ship.
And that's obviously the best thing it's ever made.
It is, actually. It absolutely is. And I'm happy to have played a small part in that.
Grasshopper had a direct where they were talking about the Shadows of the Damned remastered. It's currently in development for all current platforms. Probably. That's the statement.
That direct was weird AF. Did you watch it?
I saw the footage of the new game where it's blurred out on the screen and, like, there's people walking around with baseball bats. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna check out that game when it comes out because that was a pretty cool game back in the day.
Shadows of the Damned is a wonderful game.
Yeah.
A logo for Star Ocean, the Second Story R, was leaked on Square Enix's website, so I guess there's a new Star Ocean code. Yeah, but everybody done forgot about that last one. I played about...
Star Ocean wasn't always Square, right?
It used to just
Was
be
that
was
on
Enix.
It was
Oh,
Enix.
okay.
Enix.
So it is that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I you know why? Because wasn't Star Ocean one of those ones that was translated by that fucking English translation studio? God damn, they did all the disc-based shit.
Talking about working designs?
Thank you.
No.
Was that no? They didn't do that.
They didn't do Star Ocean.
Okay, I thought that was them.
No, they did some weird stuff, but they never touched Star Ocean that I'm aware of. I played like 15 hours of that last Star Ocean, and boy, I got bored. Like
That's a shame.
it's the most forgettable RPG I've played in a long time.
Heck.
I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just like I just didn't care. Like
They're
You know
never
what?
bad. Like I liked a couple of them, the Star Oceans, but like they're just kind of meh. You
That
know, you just kind of
PS4
experience
was-
it. It's there.
that PS4 one was pretty bad.
It was Lunar.
I didn't play that one.
Yeah,
I
Lunar
didn't
for the Sega
That's
CD
the one
and
I was thinking of.
PlayStation. Yeah.
Star Ocean, Lunar. It's fine. It's all games I'm not going to play.
Rockstar has removed some cars from GTA Online and moved them behind the GTA Online Plus subscription.
What an unnecessary thing to do.
That's such a
Piece
weird thing.
of garbage.
RGG announced a new summit for fall 2023. It'll be in September. I don't know what else we could see. Like, how many is that when we see Judgment 3?
Probably, or a new Fist of the North Star.
That's not happening.
I know.
can't review.
Uh,
There's nowhere to go story-wise for a new Fist of the North Star, unfortunately. But I would love to see them just do anything licensed. Just take some license that'll work inside that formula and just go fucking wild.
So this has to be like some PR scrambling of numbers here, but according to Activision Blizzard, Diablo 4 made, quote, after 5 days of launch, $666 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that when they posted it, and I was like, first of all, y'all, you either estimating it up or making it down to make that number. There is no way that, like, anyways. Ugh.
I mean,
sure it made a
they're
lot of
not
money.
lying if at one point it made that amount.
No, I know. I'm not even
All right.
saying that they're lying.
All
I'm
right,
sure at
put out
one
the
point
press
it made
release
that. Yeah.
now. All right.
Right. They was like, go ahead. We hit that number. We're good. We passed 666, so we're cool.
Yeah. Todd Howard has confirmed that Skyrim has sold 60 million copies.
I believe it. It's on everything.
Ah,
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to be honest with you. That I just don't care for Skyrim as much as I like Oblivion.
Really? You're like the only person I've heard say that. Like,
Well,
everybody
okay, so
thinks Skyrim's crazy.
Skyrim, in theory, I should like more because there's more. It's more advanced, but
Mhm.
like the fact that like jumping is no longer something you have to do to kind of get better at jumping is like, okay, well, right, that's a little weird. I kind of like that aspect of Oblivion because you could make a character that could jump like fucking absurd heights if that's what you focused on. But there was like just small things where it was like Oblivion was filled with a charm to it, and like, oh, this one character is maybe a little nuts and thinks that people are spying on him, so he wants you to wait outside to watch other people, and you need to be careful to not get spotted, and he keeps coming, and you're just like, dude, they're not talking about you. And he's like, yes, they are. Stay outside another night. And like, rings that allow you to... One of my favorite items, it's a ring that allows you to walk on water, but also allows you to breathe in water.
The Jesus ring?
Well, what would be the point if you can walk on water that the ring allows you to breathe underwater? It's a little redundant, and that's the joke. But it's like it's this fantasy item where I was like, oh, that's cool. It's a fantasy item in this fantasy game, and then like they really went full Nord in fucking Skyrim, where they're like runes. And go to get your swords fixed, and you can learn shouts, and you're a Viking man now. And it's like, okay, we've lost some of the
fun, stupid shit along the way. And that's what I liked. As much as rolling cheese downhill is fun, but...
Alright, I got some fun numbers here. So we just had basically E3, quote unquote. So we have a list of 12 streaming conferences and the top numbers, like who did the best. Who do you think did the best?
Microsoft and Ubisoft? Yeah, Microsoft and Ubisoft, I would guess.
Yeah, I was going to say Capcom, but Capcom didn't even need to have one.
That
all
could have
that
been an email.
was, yeah, like that was the epitome of this. Could have been an email. Yeah, Microsoft and Ubisoft, because Ubisoft was good.
Microsoft was number 1 with 2.3 million viewers. Number 2 was Summer Game Fest with 2 million viewers.
Oh, I forgot about Keighley. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Keighley was number 2. Ubisoft was number 3, so you guys had the 2 of the top 3 with 1.1. Capcom was number 4, which is crazy. It's 650,000.
Wow.
The PC Gaming Show was number 5. The next one, some of these I didn't even know happened. OTK Games Expo was number 6.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't either. Xbox's Extended Game Showcase was number 7. Future Game Show was number 8. Devolver, number 9. Wholesome Direct, number 10. The Final Fantasy 16 pre-launch celebration was 11, followed by the Tribeca Games Festival at number 12.
Wow, I didn't realize all that stuff was a festival into itself. I saw a lot of trailers that were marked from like the PC game show, and then one of the other ones you said, I can't remember what it was. One of the other ones you mentioned, I saw trailers marked with that. I think one of them had the dude that voices Spider-Man and Laura Bailey was hosting it. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, it was a hella shows this week. Lord.
I know none of us played it. But Final Fantasy 16 is out this week. There's a demo floating around. Like at this point, like I don't even know if I'll download it because the game's out this week. But what was funny is if you remember a couple months back, the developer said, "Hey, there will be no day one patch because the game is perfect." Right?
Yep.
Well, after that demo with the performance issues, guess what? There's a day one patch now that'll be released on Thursday.
That's what they get for saying something stupid like that. Like, don't put the cart before the horse, man. Come on now. Why you even put that out there? Oh,
I love it. So some tidbits from the Xbox Extended Showcase. There was new stuff there. Shocking. Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty got a date, September 26th. There's new DLC coming to High on Life called High on Knife.
Mm-hmm.
Lamplighters League was given a date, October 3rd, coming to Game Pass day 1. The first Descendant was debuted. It's coming to Xbox, PS4, PS5, PC with a crossplay beta in August. They showed off some more Towerborn, Fallout 76's Once in a Blue Moon expansion, Hi-Fi Rush, new content coming to that game on July 5th. They showed off some of the Elder Scrolls DLC. Phasmophobia is getting a console version coming in August. Some more news about Exoprimal, which was at the Capcom show. And then a bunch of new ID at Xbox games. Dune, Flight Sim coming November 3rd. Will be on Game Pass. A game called
Paris.
Go Mecha Ball? Whatever that was. I didn't watch the extended showcase, so I don't know what that was. Lies of P information, performance capture for Hellblade 2, and a bunch of new Game Pass games, including Neon White, Another Crab's Treasure, Sea of Stars, Little Kitty Big City, The Wandering Village, Galacticare, The Bookwalker, Tectonica, Harold Halibut, and Mineko's Night Garden.
I didn't know Neon White was coming to Game Pass. That's cool.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to play that. All right.
Then they showed off a little more 33 Immortals, where Phil played the game with the developers. There's a beta or early access coming in 2024. Yeah. So their extended showcase had quite a few things. So let me scroll up to see if there's anything else going on. Like you said, the Capcom thing could have been an email.
Yeah.
And I don't remember much from it other than Exoprimal, and then Pragmata basically has been indefinitely delayed.
Right. They showed like that was the only thing that was really like new was the dungeons, the Dragon's Dogma 2 stuff. They did like we got to see more gameplay, and they kind of talked about it in the world and stuff, but that was really it. Like, I mean,
Dragon's Dogma was talked about with no date.
Yeah, and we didn't get a date, so that, doesn't mean a whole lot, but yeah.
What do you think? Dragon's Dogma 2024 fall?
I'm thinking so. It looked pretty good. Like, because they were showing like gameplay. Like I'm thinking it'd probably fall next year.
Man, yeah, we don't need any more games in 2023. I think we're good.
No, God, I don't know. We're gonna finish all the ones that we got now. Jesus,
I'm still playing Zelda, man.
Right? See, like you still, man.
I barely touched Diablo. Like my Diablo game I'm still level 20. Like I ain't even touched it.
Joke's on you. That's the reason why I'm not buying a new console. There's too many games to play in my back catalog.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, there's new games. Like, there's like 4 new games this week that I'm interested in checking out.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a massive entry in an RPG series. Like, come on, man.
So much stuff.
All right. I think that's all the news that I have. There is a piece of news that is actually in a tweet that we got, so I'll just roll that into this because, people are weird on Twitter, man. Shogun writes in and says, well, look who finally has games. Also, the discourse on the internet, 2 weeks, it was 60 or I'm not playing, 30 FPS is ridiculous, today 30 FPS is fine. I think everybody owes Gotham Knights an apology. That game was fun and had a better fight system than all of the Batman games. And this is, of course, in reference to, Starfield's going to be running at 30 FPS.
I agree with what he said. They do all owe Gotham Knights an apology.
Gotham Knights
clearly it's acceptable.
Is a good game that is marred by the fact that the trappings of what they wanted it to be are still in there.
Yeah, of its game as a service type stuff. But yeah, the combat system is the best in the Batman thing. Like, because I went back and like kind of put it all together. And once you do that, like it is a sweet combat system.
Yeah, he says, I love the gaming community, but I'm constantly confused by the goalpost moving. I know everybody wants the best experience possible, but even in PC gaming, most are not playing at 4K 60. Expecting 4K 60 on every game for $500 is asking a lot. Do we want options or a standard? So, the only reason that this is gaining traction right now is because these fanboys love to take their shots back and forth at each other, and every PlayStation game that has come out has been, most of them have been like cross-gen, so they're able to get those 60 FPS modes in. I think the 60 FPS stuff is about to end, unfortunately. Because we were in a transition period for consoles to where most of the games that we've played for the first 2 years of these consoles have been last-gen games.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you're building games from the ground up for these new consoles, look at Gotham Knights, I'm expecting them to be 30 frames per second, which sucks.
What frame rate was Hi-Fi Rush?
60.
Oh, 60.
So I'm going to say it right now, and nobody ever wants to hear this, but like this is what you get when you chase realism. Sure. Realism also is the first thing to look like shit comes something more realistic. Go back, look at the game you thought was realistic on PS2. It probably looks fucking terrible now. And it's like, yeah, that's because it can't age gracefully. Video games have an art style. That's the reason why, sure, N64 stuff looks rough. But the GameCube stuff that Nintendo put out doesn't really look that bad because it's stylized. Like, that you should be aiming for a style that looks good and runs well, because ultimately that game is going to age far more gracefully than any of this realistic stuff. which also generally, because they're going for like this super dense like realism, either obstructs gameplay to a point that no one ever wants to admit, which is basically what happened with Naughty Dog stuff, or it reduces the frame rate to 30 frames. Well, you know, I hate to say it, but like that's what you get if that's the type of games you demand from publishers. It's like you can't really have your cake and eat it too.
But I think the reason that this is such a contentious point right now is that Sony is doing that. They're doing the realistic games and hitting 60. Like those are happening.
And,
like
and you know what?
Horizon
And it might be that they've figured out ways to get that to work, especially on certain engines. Because I think the Decima engine, which is what Horizon is built on, I believe that even Death Stranding was getting at 60, right? So
yeah.
obviously that engine is built for that.
Let me think. I think maybe the original was 30 of Death Stranding, and then like the Pro or PS5 versions were 60. I'd have to look, but
at that point, like I would say, you know what, those games look really realistic, and if it's hitting 60 now, does this engine need to change? And you might see an audience go, well, it doesn't look as good as it could, and then fucking here we go for again, just fucking right now making a new engine and shit, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't
like. I listen. If you can do both, do both. I appreciate that, but I also don't expect that. I'm not the person that yells over frames. So obviously, my stance in this is a little bit different. But it's like I know where this shit comes from, and it's chasing that realism dragon.
There it is. Wombat in the chat. Lizard
Yeah.
Man. That's right.
Final Fantasy Spirits Within, everybody, is a bad movie that was really up its ass on visuals. And it looks fantastic. It still looks pretty good to this day. Boy, is that a boring-ass movie.
It is. And I know I get flamed a lot, but I found Horizon to be a boring-ass video game. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's just me. It's just me.
But it is that, like, I always question that with people, because I don't like Red Dead Redemption 2. I thought the real, like, it looks great. I find that game horribly boring.
No, a lot of people find that game horribly boring, and I totally understand why. Like, I've never, if you play it and you're like, dude, I'm so bored playing this, like, I totally get it. Like, that makes sense to me. Because
it's a lot of realism stuff. Like you were saying, like, yeah, I totally get that if somebody said that about that game.
Yeah.
Like, if it's, I feel like it's a fair complaint, though, when you have something that is stylized, like Redfall, because that game is not chasing realism. Why can't that game run better? That's a fair statement, right? Like big fucking hands McGee fucking telling you to do a job. And it's like, well, I knew that's sort of, you know, what I expected from the people that do Dishonored, right? Dishonored is very stylized. And that's okay. But, like, there better not be, like, fucking a bunch of technical faults to, you know, hinder this very stylized game from running remotely well. Because from the sounds of it, 30 is on the high end of things with Redfall at times. If the game is running well and properly, I don't know. Yeah, I just never have understood the chase for realism. I much prefer the PS2 era where, like, yeah, realism was nice and all, but, like, games were still kind of the forefront. You know, it's not just a movie with slight fucking interference from the player, a la Metal Gear Solid 4. I'll never get over how irritated I was to start that up. Be excited to play new Metal Gear game and it be fucking just movies. Ugh.
I swear I don't think I muted when I got up, so I think you probably
I don't think so,
noise.
no.
You can hear the noise.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear anything. But
I was forced to vamp everybody, seeing as how he just kind of made sure to let everybody know I was forced to vamp, so I apologize.
No, you're fine. You were starting to talk about Redfall when I left, and I was like, man, that game should be 60 because it's a shooter anyway.
Well, but even
Well,
then,
they said
though,
it's coming.
Yeah,
but even then,
I don't
60,
believe 'em.
60, look at how that game looks. Why isn't it 60? It's not chasing realism. It's not high definition graphics to the point where you're like, I can't believe this is real. No. It's fucking Dishonored looking ass game. There's no reason why it can't run well.
It's
But
weird.
Dishonored, it's like, it's the same with BioShock, right? Like, it's this very stylized look at people. It totally works for what they're doing. And I'm totally fine with that being the case, but like, you know, those games are good. If those games were bad, I'd be like, well, why is this the decision you made?
Yeah.
Right? Because like, and I mean bad in performance sense, not bad as in like bad, because there's bad games that have all art styles.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so here's the thing for me. If 60 is available, that's what I want. But 30 is not going to ruin my experience. I mean, for God's sakes, I got 100 hours in Zelda. And that bitch runs 25 most of the time.
I don't have an issue with Zelda. Like, I don't see that issue as an obvious problem. I mean, there's moments, but I think it's also, and no one ever really wants to talk about this, frame pacing. Frame pacing is extremely important.
Yeah.
Like, every frame should be an equal amount of time. Obviously, mathematically, that breaks down to some fucked up numbers, but like, 30 frames per second is fine. 30 frames per second at the end of that second is not good. Like,
Yeah.
1, 2, and then 3 to 30 is the last part of that second. That's when you start getting real bad fucking graphics. Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird conversation, and I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm so fucking tired of PlayStation guys only talking about Xbox, and Xbox guys only talking about PlayStation. And I'm tired of both of them talking about the FTC. I'm going to be real honest with you. Y'all
I'm tired
are fucking,
of the FTC.
Yeah, you're all fucking weird. Like, none of this matters to you. You know, except for when Microsoft does eventually buy it, and you get to play Call of Duty in Game Pass. Like, otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Shit. I mean,
Exactly.
really, fucking just play the games and shut the fuck up. There's so many games out there, and you're really going to be angry about one?
Oh, dude, this
At the end of the
Starfield
day.
conversation has caused so much back and forth between the two, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, there's
I can
podcasts
only-
dedicated to it. I'm like, dude, calm down.
I can only understand, like, if you're a Call of Duty guy and you always played on PlayStation, you bought a PlayStation 5, and then suddenly this comes down the pipeline and they were taking away Call of Duty from PlayStation suddenly, then I understand completely why people would be upset. But, for now, I don't know. Don't
Call of
make any
Duty ain't
sense to me.
leaving PlayStation. Microsoft ain't giving up that money.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, those are the scenarios where I go, that makes sense.
Sure, it's perfectly legitimate to be upset when, you know, you take stuff away. But what's funny is, like, you see those conversations, and like, Final Fantasy is on Xbox, right? There are Final Fantasy games on Xbox,
Yep.
but not new ones.
Nope.
And that's taking a game away because you paid for the exclusivity. It's dumb. Like, I understand getting mad about that, but then
This is
like,
all video games. It's all dumb.
Of
This
course
is all
it's
just
all
a fucking
dumb.
hobby. Who gives a shit?
But like, you're out here like, oh, I get mad because you take Call of Duty away. It's like, well, I took PlayStation away. What's the response to that? Buy a PlayStation. Like, it works both ways. Like, buy an
right.
Xbox if you want to play
Y'all
Starfield.
need more.
That's
If
the
you're
thing.
angry, you need to play some Katamari. Get over it. Roll that shit up into a ball and fire it into the fucking sun.
They don't play those games.
You should
Nah,
play
man.
those games. You
They
literally,
play them.
and I mean, I'm not joking. Eventually, you roll up everything and fire it directly into the sun to put it out.
Oh, for sure, but they don't play those games. They only play the realistic walking simulators.
Center screen,
Sad.
pull trigger. Center screen, pull trigger. Center screen, pull trigger. Center screen, pull trigger.
Fuck yeah. All right. Last tweet. Shogun says, Happy Father's Day, guys. Do you guys have any gaming Father's Day memories? Mine would be playing Blaster Master, trying to kill that toad with my dad, learning that we could be Contra with the code, and Game Genie. What a game changer the Game Genie was. Cheers.
I mean, I'm not going to go into details because I have a lot, because he's the reason I played video games. He owned a Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, and Sega or Super Nintendo, when I was born. So
That's awesome.
he was already in it. And then we've played plenty of co-op games together. Not as much anymore, but
Yeah, my father
I
had
know-
zero interest in video games.
like we played all Borderlands and Borderlands 2 together.
What? That's awesome. Yeah, y'all get to know a little bit about me. I have never actually met my father. So I have no idea if he liked video games or not, but I have a ton of memories with my kids because I play video games, and so do they. My daughters kind of dabbled because I played them. They don't really mess with them as much anymore, but Brennan, the boy, still playing every now and again. We play stuff. Actually, he messaged me last night at freaking, like, he texted me like 12 something. He's like, you still play Wild Rift, that League of Legends game? I'm like, yeah. He was like, you should play sometime. I'm like, all right. So, but yeah, so that's my memories.
Yeah, my dad never played video games. I remember the first time they bought me a console, which was a NES. I bought Spy Hunter because I thought he'd play with me because he liked James Bond movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't play with me. He's like, nah. He's like, I don't even understand this thing. What's this thing in my hand? This is stupid.
Right, yeah, that was my mom. Like, she tried to play Mario. Oh my god, she couldn't get past the first pit, like the first jump in Mario. And me and my brother are sitting there trying to no, you have to hold this one to run and then hit this button to jump. And she just kept jumping into it. I'm like, okay, just don't. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, some people just they ain't down with it.
It's not. Yeah, they ain't. Yeah. Not for 'em.
My house is fucking crazy. So I just purchased a third Xbox for this house because everybody was tired of sharing even further. So we have
Welcome to my world.
we have a third Xbox coming on Tuesday that will be going in the son's room, and him and the wife have been playing Roblox, and they're going to play together because she's also done with Overwatch, so we don't play anymore.
Wow. Okay, they really fucking up. They got both of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you get your son? Series or X or S?
Yes. He doesn't need an X. No way.
Yeah, you don't need this shit.
Yeah.
Too good for you.
They play Roblox. You're good.
Hey man, Roblox. I feel like Roblox. Depending on now, I've never. They have Sonic stuff, and I just went, yeah, no, I'm good. Official Sonic shit, and Roblox couldn't fucking sell me on their piece of shit platform.
Did you ever play the Minecraft Sonic stuff? I heard it was good.
Motherfucker, I'm not touching Minecraft either. Although that's more likely. That is more likely because I have played Minecraft in the past.
So
but I'm just they're like, hey, you want to give us money for a Sonic set? And I went, no.
They also did a Mega Man X thing, which I kind of
I saw that one. But yeah, Roblox. It's like I look at that game and I go, why do I think this will just kill your resources?
You know what?
Entirely.
That's what my girls play. They still play. They play Roblox because Iola was playing it, and I know Alexis was. They play. Yeah, they mess with Roblox. I've never played Roblox in my life. Like, it just looks. I don't know,
dude. It's
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So I just switched jobs recently, and I was doing my round of interviews with the new place that I started, and the person I was interviewing with noticed, I had stuff in my office for video games. And she asked me if I played. I said, yeah, absolutely. I was like, my son plays too. She's like, mine too. He plays Roblox all the time.
Yeah, that's the hotness. Everybody, it used to be Minecraft. Now it's Roblox.
Yeah, which is crazy that game is not on PlayStation or Switch.
I didn't know it wasn't on PlayStation.
Yeah,
wow.
It's not. It's only on PC and Xbox.
Holy crap. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
there's a...
it would be huge if it hits PlayStation then with it's already... All right, okay, we can stop. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say something come across the Twitter feed. Apparently there's a change.org petition to put Starfield on the PS5. It's got 138...
Wow, that's a lot of copium they're fucking snorting. Jesus
It's got
Christ.
138 signatures.
Oh my god. These dudes are serious too. That's what makes it so sad.
It's not just put it on PS5.
Let's make it exclusive to PS5.
There you go.
Oh wow.
Fucking huffing copium like no tomorrow. Jesus Christ.
Oh god, these dudes, man.
Oh, wow. I can't
Yeah,
anymore.
I had to look it up. Sonic Speed Simulator is the Roblox one. And, like, looking at it, hey, that looks pretty legit. Pretty cool. I still won't start up Roblox. No. Mm-mm.
I think you can play it on your Xbox One. You should try it out. You should get hooked.
I'd only want to play the Sonic stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's the beauty of
also,
that
hold on.
Play that.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Specifically, I also want there to be no one else around, and I don't think that's an option.
I
yeah,
don't
no.
know anything about the game, so I couldn't tell you.
I think it's
Wow,
like,
there's a lot of playable characters, too.
yeah, it's like
Oh,
all of
Jesus.
my kids actually play it with their friends because like the boys play some sort of heist something and like one of them was up like all night because they were trying to grind out to get some unlock or something in this Roblox game and I'm like, holy crap, like what the heck do they got going on in Roblox?
Okay, oh my god, I need to go down the playable characters list. So, you got Sonic, so just, that's already there. But you also got Adventure Knuckles, where he's, like, tricked out with all the shit you could get in Adventure 2 for him. Like, the goggles and the gloves and stuff.
Adventure
Then there's
Knuckles. Adventure Knuckles sounds like an adult movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. Okay, yeah. There's Adventure Sonic, which is got all the shit that you could collect as in Sonic Adventure 2 for him. Amy Rose, Android Shadow Orange, Android Shadow Pink, a Big the Cat in a fishing vest and hat called Angler Big, Aviator Tails, which is self-explanatory, Big the Cat, Birthday King Sonic, Camper Knuckles, Chrome Metal Sonic, Chef Amy, Classic Tails, Classic Sonic Cream, the Rabbit, Detective Tails, E123 Omega, Easter Amy, Elf Tails, Espio the Chameleon, Fake Metal Knuckles, Fake Metal Sonic, Fake Metal Tails, Flame Shadow, Frontiers Sonic, which is not from Frontiers, so that doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyways, Gold Metal Sonic 3.0, Gold Style Shadow, Gold Style Sonic, Gothic Amy, Grind Shoe Sonic, Hologram Metal Sonic, Holographic Metal Sonic,
What is
Invisible
happening right
Espio,
now?
Jet the Hawk.
They
Dude,
got all the Sonics.
all I can hear is money, 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 money,
I
money,
mean,
money, 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 money,
Holy
money.
crap.
I don't.
That's
Like, I'm still
so much
scrolling on
Sonic.
this fucking page.
I heard a conversation last night. My son and my wife play the same Roblox game, and they were saying there's like a skin in that game. It's like $300.
Holy shit. You know what? I believe it. I believe it.
Like of real money, and I was just like, man, I thought them
That's
$20
fucking
Overwatch
nuts.
skins were bad.
Yeah. Nah, you ain't seen nothing. Like, man.
I should probably, I did buy the battle pass for Overwatch. I should probably play it because I only made it to level 3.
Yeah, you probably should. If you done bought the battle pass, you might as well.
I need that Reinhardt demon skin. That's what I need, and the Tracer mythic. Like man, I'm gonna have to grind because I haven't played that game. Son of a bitch. Why are you doing this to me?
It'll be alright. It'll be alright.
Watch, I'll get back into it and get back in a groove, and it'll be terrible again. I mean, I got nothing else. I'm at a loss. We're at the end of the show. I don't know what's going on with Phoenix Down. What were they playing? What's the last one they did?
I don't know, man.
Oh, Shin Megami. That's what they were doing. Strange Journey.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I know he said there was nothing this week because they didn't make it far enough. So probably be back next week. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we're there. ZTGD Content and ZTGD Podcast. You can also follow me and Terrence. I'm at ZTGD. He's at Lord Magnus. You can send emails to the podcast, podcasts@ztgd.com.
I've now gone down the rabbit hole on this Sonic wiki, and I saw that somebody was announced as a character you will run into in Sonic Superstars, and that made me very excited.
See, I'm sitting over here for all day yesterday. I built a Botticera external drive. Excuse me. That's only 1 terabyte, and now I'm sitting here thinking I should probably start over with the 8 terabyte, so that I never have to worry about space.
Fang the Sniper is the character, by the way. No one gave a shit. I just needed to say it.
Fang the Sniper.
Yes. He's one of the characters from which one is he? Which is the Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble on the Sega Game Gear?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, is Chaotix in there? You know, from the 32X game?
No, Chaotix is not included, unfortunately.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know why. Okay, so this has always been confusing. Fang the Sniper has a giant fang.
Huh.
But he's also sometimes called Knack the Weasel, and I don't fully know why that's...
Knack the Weasel?
Is he a weasel?
He is a weasel.
Okay. At least that
is not
accurate.
the problem, but I to this day, I'm not sure why he was Fang the Sniper, but then also Knack the Weasel. Is this some sort of Archie fucking shit?
I mean, the person who made that Roblox game has probably also written some really saucy Sonic fan fiction.
Okay, I've looked it up. Apparently he was known as Knack, but because there's a character named fucking Knuckles, they were like, that's gonna be a bit too close.
They could have made a spin-off called Knack and Knuckles. That'd have been good.
Right, that sounds like an adult movie. Knack and Knuckles.
Hey, you know.
Hey, guess what? Anything in the Sonic fandom could be an adult movie.
I mean, Sonic does love chili dogs. Don't Google that.
Have you fucking seen some of these fucking weirdos?
Oh, God. I didn't realize they were doing Sonic like that. Jesus, man. All right. Yeah, I won't be Googling that. I'm okay.
Dude,
I can imagine.
I'm afraid of Google. Too many things are... Like, people were saying the shrines and Tears of the Kingdom look like something that I shouldn't Google, and I never Googled it.
Oh, is it the Jade Egg?
It's called Goatsy. Whatever. I didn't Google that. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I'm not gonna look that up.
I totally didn't look that up.
I can hold on. Let me save you the Google.
You put anything in the chat, and I'm gonna ban you.
Oh no, God, that would require me Googling it. I've only seen it once, and it was one of those, oh God! Well, you know, one of your friends, when you're young and teenager, wants to show you something shocking. He won. I'm not friends with him anymore.
Smart decision. Yeah.
I moved away. It wasn't going to happen pre-internet. Anyways, or in the early internet, you know, before messaging each other took fucking 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Goatsy is a picture of a man.
Oh, thank you for putting that on the podcast. Thank you.
You can mute that. Yikes. Just have that be like Goatsy is.
Just play a sound bite. Use a sound bite. That's appropriate.
That's the reaction I had when you see it. It's like
fatality. That would work too.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad that somebody played Tears of the Kingdom, and that's the first thing they thought of.
I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
People.
I'm even gonna tell you right now that I'm about to look at a picture of the shrine. No. I know what they're getting at, not even close.
No, people are just horny. That's the problem.
I don't even know if it's horny. I think that's just trying to really fucking... See, guys? It's a meme like Lost, but no.
I want to apologize to everybody that made it 2 hours and 22 minutes into the show to hear
You're
this.
gonna have to do some editing.
Well, just go to the end and, do it.
Well, we're going to get
Man.
out of here now because that's all the end of the show's a piece, bitch.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.